Oil prices on the rise again. They have already surged $20 a barrel this month. And now a new crisis is emerging that could cause even more issues. Houthi rebels in Yemen are threatening to cut off a strait in the Red Sea. Just the threat alone is already leading to some ships abandoning their plans to exit the Red Sea heading south. And this potential blockade could cause even more damage to the already shaky global oil market. CNN senior business reporter David Goldman joining us now. I mean, we were talking about this, and I'm just going to do it because this is bad. This always indicates to us like, oh, good, oh yeah, green, up, good, market's good, up. No,
No.
Bad.
Yes, that's
sad
right.
face.
You're
Terrible.
a good artist. We should have you do this more often. I think that there's always a discussion about is green good or bad. This is bad, right? Yeah. $94 a barrel is not where we want oil to be right now. And certainly when we have big moves like this is kind of like May all over again. And the reason is that not only are we dealing with the Strait of Hormuz, now we're dealing with another strait, the Bab al-Mandab Strait, which is one of the key exit paths for Saudi Arabian oil. We know that Saudi Arabia, to get away from the strait, is piping oil into the Red Sea, and it's been coming out this way to go for Asia, except that now the Houthis want to blockade this. This is going to become a big problem, kind of like a no way out situation. There are 4 to 5 million barrels of oil that normally would go through the strait that are going through this, the Strait of Hormuz, going through the Bab al-Mandab Strait every single day, and that is under threat right now. Now, we've been monitoring the traffic, and you can start to see some of these ships turn around and head out the other way. Not because the Houthis are actually doing anything right now, but they have broadcast that they will attack ships. That has certainly scared a lot of ship traffic. 2 to 3 million barrels per day that were destined for Asia. This is the big threat. They might now be under threat, and that could mean higher gas prices, higher oil prices, $10 perhaps per barrel. We've already seen prices go up $5 just in the past few days. Now we're potentially looking at $100 oil if this becomes the bad situation that we're thinking about. And it's also a big route for diesel. Yeah. And diesel is key because prices...
It fuels business, basically.
That's exactly right. And everything that's on a ship. Now, I can't draw. I need you to do this. It's $5.18 today. That is an enormous price for diesel. Certainly everything that goes on a truck, you're going to have to pay for that.
I'm going to mess with the wall.
Please do.
I think we're going to try to go back to the area here. You know, when you were talking about Saudi Arabia, one of the things that people have been saying about this war in Iran is that eventually they're going to hurt themselves because the Saudis and others will find a different path, maybe through the Red Sea. And now, because Iran has figured this all out and because they have proxies everywhere, this is of concern. It is a real problem.
It's a real problem. If you can't get out this way and you can't get out this way, the only way through is through the Suez Canal. That's not a great way to Asia.
No. All right. Thank you, David. I do appreciate it. John?
And keep your mind on that map. We're going to want that again. With us now, CNN Global Affairs analyst Kim Dozier and CNN military analyst Colonel Cedric Leighton. Kim, I want to start with you, and if we can put that map back up, because we are just getting word now that 4 vessels, and David mentioned a couple yesterday, I believe there are 4 more today that turned around, that were headed out. The bottom of the screen there, Bab al-Mandab, that is the strait between really Yemen and Africa there, where there has been oil passing the last couple months. 4 vessels turned around. So what does that tell you, Kim, now about these concerns of what the Houthis might do?
The Houthis sent a message directly to shipping companies. And first they said any Saudi shipping can't come through. And then they said any ships that dock at a Saudi port. You know, the last time the Houthis did this, though, they didn't just hit the ships that they said they might target. They accidentally hit some other ships as well. So if you're a shipping company with a multi-million-dollar cargo load, you're either going to take it through the Suez Canal, or if you were going to go through the Suez Canal from the outside, now you're going to go around the Horn of Africa, this adds costs. We're talking about something like 10 to 20% of global shipping going through the Suez Canal, which has to get through the Bab el-Mandeb. This is going to add up pretty fast if there isn't some resolution. And the Houthis have a couple reasons they're doing this. Part of it is, yes, they're doing this in cooperation with Iran to pressure the United States, but also the internationally recognized Yemeni government, backed by Saudi Arabia, targeted the Houthis' airport earlier this month. So there's a local reason and a larger reason that the Houthis are getting stuck into this fight.
So, Cedric, what are the range of options that I guess the U.S. we'd be talking about here has to open this up? Although I'm not sure that the U.S. would be involved here directly, would they? Who knows?
Well, that's a great question, John. One of the key things to remember is that we were involved in opening up the Bab el-Mandeb and the entrance to the Red Sea just basically, over a year ago now. And so that shows that we have experience in the area, certainly. And let's look at capabilities. Who else could do this if something were to happen where the Houthis came in and shut off the Bab el-Mandeb? The answer is the Saudis can't do it. They don't have the capabilities, although they tried to fight the Houthis in the so-called Yemen civil war. That didn't work out for the Saudis. Then you also have other countries. They don't have all of the capabilities. We did it in tandem with Great Britain and other coalition partners, and that worked well, but we had to take the lead there. So now we're kind of spread thin because we've got the Persian Gulf to worry about and the Strait of Hormuz, and now we also, just across the peninsula, have the Bab el-Mandeb possibly being an area that would be cut off.
And if you listen to the president, the United States has to worry about this place called Pickaxe Mountain. And we can throw that up on the screen here so people can see what we're talking about here. Cedric, why is this a concern, and how would the U.S. go after it as the president has promised?
Well, this seems to be one of the preeminent areas for the Iranians to store some of their nuclear materials. So there's a report that the Iranians have their highly enriched uranium, some of it at least at Pickaxe Mountain. It's just outside of Natanz, which is another nuclear site. Interestingly enough, Pickaxe Mountain also may have centrifuges. So these are some of the ingredients that you would need to build a nuclear weapon. And Pickaxe Mountain is buried under a layer of granite and then some layers of concrete. And when you look at the tunneling there, it's about 145 meters, so let's say around almost 400 feet deep. And that, of course, is a significant challenge because if you don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, that might be the place that you have to go to.
Yeah.
But the difficulty is the weapons that we have may not really be able to finish the job, at least not directly. So it may require a lot of work in addition to bombing it from the air.
So Kim, as long as we're talking about nuclear capabilities, we're learning this morning from the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and now we have some of our reporting.